Hey guys, just waiting on a cue from my producer. All right. Hey everybody, and welcome to 1-2 Radio. This is Katie Weaver with the Katie Weaver Show. Hope everybody is doing well and having a great day. If you are listening live, it is the 7th of December already at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you. I want to let you know we're over in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Or if you would rather, I am live streaming this event in two different places. You can find that by heading over to YouTube or Facebook looking for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic. So that is how to watch if you'd rather. And that's what's up. So I'm keeping an eye on both chat rooms. So I would love to be able to, yeah, chat with you. We're definitely going to do some readings today and just have a little fun. So I think I'm down for some fun. I hope you guys are. So as always, I'm curious to know how your week is and how was your Thanksgiving? Stressful? Fun? You didn't do it? Let me know. You got food poisoning? What? No, please no. But okay. So hi to Helen, to Jane, to Edith, to Pamela, to Tiffany, to Sid, to and then Tiffany again. Good Lord. Okay. Someone needs to ground. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm glad that you're here. So I do have a little show and tell. As you can imagine, there's a whole lot of creating going on around here currently because it's, just a few weeks before Christmas. And per normal, we are doing what we do, right? We're doing a whole bunch of making stuff, getting ready for Christmas with our family as well as Secret Santa. It will be coming up before you know it. So, one of the things that we've been working on the last day or so is kind of fun. Um, we're engraving wooden spoons, bamboo wooden spoons, and bamboo spatulas for stockings. So, I had to share because they are just turning out so cute. So I did put a picture in the chat room, but if you are in the live stream, that's probably upside down. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So down the handle it says mixing up some magic, and then it's got this cute little bottle full of crystals and stuff on the spoon part and the ladle part. What do you call that part? Yeah. Anyway, kind of fun. And this one, I designed all of these the other day. This one says Kitchen Witch. And it's got flowers and leaves that chase it down the handle, and then in the bowl of the spoon, there you go, um, is a cauldron with some flowers and crystals and witchy things. And then this I made for my sister-in-law Rhonda, who is so in love with Harry Potter. It's a wooden spoon that says just a drop on the handle, and it's got stars and moons, and it's all magically. And then you'll only get this if you're a Harry Potter fan. It's a bottle, and it says Felix Felicis. What is Felix Felicis? It's liquid luck. Just a drop. Isn't that fun? Okay. Anyway, that's what we've been working on. Here's another one of the Kitchen Witch in a little different design. Well, on the spatula. Same design on the spatula. There's a couple more too. I tried to get one of all of the designs to show you guys, but I didn't quite make it there. So that's okay. I'll show you next week. Anyway, aren't those fun? I'm excited. I think they're turning out super cute. So that's one of the things we've been working on really hard. The other thing, I don't have one in front of me. I should have grabbed one, but Scott has made for me. I wanted these trays I found. They're so cool. They're trays that have, pardon me, all of this wood burning. Yeah, my lungs hate it. My house smells a bit like a campfire. Now, don't worry, we definitely have windows open and ventilation going, but whew, it's a little much. Anyway, I am going to put them on my Etsy store. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should just do them as bundles or together or, yeah, refining the process right now. Yeah. Anyway, so we're making these trays. I ordered new tarot decks for all the girls, tarot or oracle decks. And Scott's making these trays that are, they almost look like a little cutting board, but they're not a cutting board. They're more like a little altar board. So they're a board that's like, oh, 6 by 8 inch, something like that. And they have a groove cut in the back of them so that you can pull cards and put your cards in the groove. Because if you pull a daily card, or even if you're doing like a 3 card spread, I made them wide enough for 3 card spreads so that you can pull cards and just put them in the groove so that you can have them there and display them. And then you've got this pretty little tray that we've engraved all kinds of cute stuff on. Um, pardon me. My youngest niece, I bought her the Disney Villains Tarot deck that is so cool. So we engraved a collage of Disney villains onto hers. My other niece loves Nightmare Before Christmas, and I bought her Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. So we engraved a Nightmare Before Christmas scene on her tray. Some of them have crystals, lotuses, mandalas. I will show those off a little closer to Christmas. But anyway, they are so cute. I'm absolutely in love with them. So then you have that tray that you could put some crystals, or you could, do some incense or light a candle, or just, put your cards there and just to hold on to for another reading. Anyway, so fun. So that's some of the stuff we're working on and more, you can imagine. But that's some of the big stuff. My cousin had hired Scott to do boxes like he's done in the past for her kids for Christmas. And he finished those and sent them out this weekend. So it was good to have those off our plate so we can focus on some of our own projects. But anyway, there will be more coming. Hey, JR. Yeah, isn't that a fun idea? I'm so excited about them. And I bought everybody a new deck that are just awesome. There are so many cool new decks out right now. It's so neat. I was on TikTok the other day, and one of the tarot girls that I follow was doing an unveiling or an unboxing of a deck she had just gotten. And it was one of Angie's decks. Isn't that sweet? I was like, well, there's a sweet little hello from heaven, right? Wow. And of course, she went crazy for that deck because it's gorgeous. But it was Whispers from the Angels, I think. Anyway, how fun is that? Wow. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what we're working on. Lots of stuff. A really ambitious astrology project that I'll share with you a little bit closer to time. But I'm still way down the rabbit hole of that one. So that's where we are. And yeah, we'll definitely look into everybody. I definitely will have some time for readings and questions today. So if you want a reading, make sure that you be thinking about that, and we'll get to it a little bit later in the show. So let's see. Let's take a look at Luminous. So Luminous is the magazine that I publish every week with my friends over at From One to Listen, as well as others. And I always love bringing it to you guys and sharing it. And there's some fun stuff in there this week. So let's take a look there. So I did share the link in both chat rooms, but if you would like to just go over to find it, you can find it on Facebook, Luminous Magazine, with the link for the magazine this week, or you can find it at katie-weaver.com just by clicking on the Luminous Magazine button. All right, another wintry Christmas tree scene. I'm way into this right now, apparently. We actually got a little tiny bit of snow yesterday, and today it's more like freezing rain. Oh, it is ugly outside. Whew. Windy, cold, blustery. Yeah. Okay, so I called the edition this week the Inspired Change Edition because there's a lot of energy and change this week. a lot of energy in seeking change. So, not necessarily the kind of change that takes your breath away, but more like the kind of change that just makes you feel like something exciting is happening, you know? So, and that, maybe you want to make a shift or a change. Now, there is a little warning with that. That's what the Daily Dish was all about this morning as well. But there was a little warning that came with it about doing things too spontaneously. But if you're feeling like you need a change, you're uncomfortable in your skin, start working on making the change, but don't do something drastic without a plan and a safety net. Sometimes it's okay to do that, but it feels like this is not one of those times. So just if you feel a change coming on, great. Just don't get wild about it. Just start planning. Hey, Maya. Good to see you. All right. So in my musings, I shared Krampus. Now, surely you guys are somewhat familiar with Krampus, right? Krampus is the half goat, half man monster guy in the mostly from the Alpine region, Austria, Germany. This was besides Santa Claus to make kids mind, they had Krampus, and of course there's others. There's other kinds of this like Belsnickel and Net Rumschkit, and there's several others that in different parts of the world. But Krampus is the scary goat horn guy that will come and chase you and maybe drag you to hell or something. I don't know if if you don't mind. Honestly, like I'm amazed at how many things we have set up in history to make our children mind in some way. This kills me. It's cracking me up to no end. But anyway, Krampus is kind of hilarious. And people have gotten way, way, way into Krampus, really throughout Europe and in the US too. But anyway, I included some of my favorite Krampus videos that you guys can go and watch, or you can just go to YouTube and look for Krampus videos. But there are Krampus parades going on all over the place, and people get seriously into it. This is not a little bit. Like they go way out on their costumery and all of their fancy stuff. So, anyhow, I just think it's awesome. I think it's so interesting to to look at stuff like this. Like, look at that guy. My God. But these, families come and line the streets for these parades with their kids. Are they scared? Is this fun? Like, what is going on? Yeah, this one is my favorite. It's a full-on Krampus marching band. Anyway, I just think these are kind of fun and interesting. And I wanted this year in Luminous and here on the show to do a little bit more of an investigation into some different Christmas traditions and holidays and not Beltane, wow, Yule and solstice traditions throughout the world. So I thought this was kind of fun on that note. So there you go, Krampus. Okay, there is a holiday gift guide. I won't go through it today, but there's links in there for Jade Bloom if you want to buy essential oils from my affiliate or some of the stuff that I have in my Etsy store currently. Okay, then we have Bitch Scopes with Kelly McLean. And she says, let's see what she says about today. Venus square Eris, you may feel strong desires for freedom and or sex, but feel repressed in some way. Mercury square Neptune distorts thinking. Whew, there could be some bad decisions. That kind of reeks of bad decisions today, doesn't it? Be careful. It won't be you. It will be your friend that always makes bad decisions, and then they're going to need you to help them sort out what the hell to do about it. I can see this right now. All right, let's read a scope. How about Leo? Home is where the heart is and where you'd rather be most these days. In the quest for security and snuggles, be aware of not being too critical of the people you live with. That criticism may also be directed at yourself, specifically your body. Love your temple and honor it for the ways it serves you daily. If you're due for a dental checkup or a bone density test, yes, that's oddly specific. Venus and Capricorn in your sixth house. This is a good time to get it done. So there you go. Or anything else that your body might need. Let's not neglect. So you can read your bitch scopes here, or you can read them over at One to Listen, or you can click on this link here and go right to Kelly's site. But that is how to check them out, and they're always awesome, literally always. She's also been posting them every week on Instagram. So if you do Insta, make sure that you follow her over there, and you can see your scopes every week that way as well. Okay. In the tip of the week, I decided that for the remainder of this month, we'll do Yuletide traditions. Just looking at different traditions of the way we celebrate the holiday time and what it actually means. Because as many of you know, as you probably all know, we typically we are this weird mismatch of mostly pagan tradition that has been wrapped up into a new Christian bow in a sense. And I think it's really important to know, where do our traditions come from and why. And to me, the more pagan side of them resonate more anyway. So we're going to just continue to take a look. So today, thinking about the wreath. And I was thinking about the wreath because, well, my wreath is still out in storage and I need to grab it and bring it in because my front door looks completely bare, because I had my pretty Halloween wreath up and now it's gone. And, well, I need a wreath on the front door. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of tempted to not put my same old wreath up and go buy a fresh one this year. Does that sound good? Just a fresh pine bough wreath that you can smell every time you walk in and out of the house, and we'll see. Wreaths were used in pagan social solstice rituals. Wow, I'm going to start that over. Wreaths were used in pagan solstice rituals among the ancient Druids, Celts, and Romans for centuries. The circular shape of the wreath was meant as a symbol of victory, honor, and after the continual cycle of life that is to come after the shortest day of the year. Hang a wreath on your door to celebrate the coming of the winter solstice, and of course, the gradual returning of the light. So now you know. So I'm curious to know, do you guys put a wreath on your door? Are you going to now? Maybe not. Maybe you will. I don't know. My mom always had a wreath on the door, for really for every holiday. She always had a different wreath. So it wasn't just a Christmas thing for her. She had like a Valentine wreath that had hearts in it, and she had an Easter wreath that had little Easter eggs sticking out of it, and she had a summertime wreath that was flowers and things, and an autumn wreath full of leaves, and a Halloween wreath, and I think you get the point. A President's Day wreath? No, she didn't. That's just going too far. Okay. All right. Christy brings us the card from her deck this week from the Energy Oracle deck is Ariel. You can watch that and hear her words about it. The card Melissa brings us, the Magical Monday message, her postcard is It's Time to Celebrate. It's kind of a fun card with all kinds of cool stuff on it. She always has quite the collection of awesome pieces that she puts her cards together with. All right, over at True Crime Paranormal this week, our Monday case, we did a deep dive into Ethan Crumbley and his parents, Jennifer Crumbley and James Crumbley. This is the school shooter from Michigan last week, and his parents that have been charged now with 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter, because the prosecutor's office feels like they were very negligent with their firearm that created this crisis, and were very negligent with their son, who was clearly a danger. And unfortunately, everything that could have gone wrong last week with Ethan did, and it resulted in 4 students being shot and killed, several others being wounded, a teacher being wounded. These people, you guys, the day of the shooting, they left town for their own safety. Wouldn't that be nice? And then there was talk from the beginning that they may have charges, and there's really good reason for it. But they left town instantly. Well, on Friday morning, the prosecutor did a press conference and announced that they were filing charges, and these two were nowhere to be found. They were actually in Detroit. They were like very close to Canada, to slipping over into Canada. There's unconfirmed reports that they did try to flee into Canada, but that because they were unvaccinated, Canada wouldn't take them. That's been a report that's been flying around. I haven't been able to substantiate it, but that's what has been said by a few different people that report on this case. I'm not positive on that. I do know that they took $4,000 out of the bank in Detroit the afternoon that they disappeared. Their lawyer just kept insisting that they were getting ready to turn themselves in. All the while, they were getting ready to turn themselves in. Someone finally, in the middle of the night, Friday night into Saturday morning, saw their car and saw a woman dressed all in black standing next to that car that she thought could be Jennifer Crumbly. So she called the police. The police found them hiding out in the basement of a warehouse where an artist studio was that happened to be a friend of theirs. So they were hiding. They had $4,000 on them. They were obvious. They had left their cell phones home or turned them off. They were completely off the grid. And yet, even in their arraignment Saturday morning, their attorneys were insisting that they were just about to turn themselves in. Well, thank God they got a hold of them. This, to me, may be the way we finally start doing something about school shootings. I don't know that we're ever going to change policy as far as gun control is concerned. It's not a fight I want to have. It's not a conversation I even really want to have on this show, is because it goes nowhere. It just becomes this really polarizing conversation the minute the conversation starts. And quite frankly, if we didn't do anything about policy when Sandy Hook happened and 20 kindergartners were slaughtered, we're not going to do it now. But this is an interesting look at what should you have to do? What kind of liability should you carry if you're going to have firearms? I was raised with guns. I live in a house with guns. I'm not anti-gun. I don't use them myself, but I have. I've shot my shotguns when I was a kid, with my dad. I mean, so I'm not coming from this from that angle so much as I am, what do we do? What do we do to create some accountability here? And this prosecutor is the first one that has ever had the guts to charge the parents. Why? Well, because they actually bought this gun for Ethan. He is 15, and they bought him a semi automatic handgun for Christmas. Of course, it's in dad's name because Ethan's not legal to own that gun. But by their own admonitions on social media, it was for Ethan. He'd been out shooting it with mom. On Monday at school, a teacher saw him shopping for ammunition on his phone, and that worried her, and she called mom. Mom didn't answer. Sent her an email. She didn't answer that either, but she did text Ethan. And the text said, "LOL, I'm not mad. You just need to learn how to not get caught." Yeah, that's what she said to her son, who the next day shot up his school. And the gun and the ammo were stored together in the Crumbly's bedroom in an unlocked drawer. Yeah. So it was a no brainer for Ethan to go get his gun from dad's dresser drawer and put it in his backpack because it was his by their admonition. They taught him how to use it. They bought him the gun and the ammunition. At school that morning, he was drawing some very disturbing drawings in a class, and it really freaked out a teacher. It looked like a kid shooting up a school. And she took a picture of that and sent it over to the administration, who immediately called Ethan's parents to the school. Ethan was then escorted with his backpack from class down to administrative offices to visit with parents and admin about that that drawing. And they really wanted the parents to take Ethan home. They refused. They told him they had to enter him into counseling within the next 48 hours. Basically, it sounds like the Crumblies just blew the school off and they left and sent Ethan back to class. Nobody searched his backpack. Crumblies didn't apparently even think for a second that he had a gun with him, or they just didn't care. Well, at noon, reports came out that there was a shooting, an active shooter at Ethan's school. And Ethan received a text from his mom that said, "Ethan, don't do it." She freaking knew. She knew. 20 minutes later, law enforcement gets a call from Dad. "There's a gun missing from our house. I think my son might be the active shooter." Well, it was too damn late for that because there were 3 kids dead, one injured enough that he died the next day, and Ethan was already in custody. The whole thing only took 5 minutes. This was preventable, and that's why the parents are getting charged. Should parents always be charged in a school shooting? Maybe not. But in cases where they had firearms and ammunition that was available to their children that they could easily get to, hell yes. That's my opinion. I think that this might be a way to start convincing people that they have to be more responsible with their guns. I hope so. Yeah. I also, Helen, don't understand why they weren't allowed. Yeah. I don't understand why they were allowed to say no either and not take their kid home. Why was that allowed? I don't know. The schools have gotten to be so cautious because everybody's mad at them all the time. And, in a world of Karens, sorry if your name is Karen, I don't mean to assault or insult, but you know what I mean. The schools are under a lot of fire these days, and maybe they should be in this instance. They also did not search his backpack, and he had that gun. You guys, think about this. When the resource officer picked him up from his classroom and took him to the administration office to meet with his parents, he had that gun in his backpack then. He was already ready. He was already packing. It's not like he left the school after that. The school corroborates that he did not. But anyway, I'm going to keep a really close eye on this case because it is precedent. This is precedent that could potentially change the way we do things moving forward as far as gun violence is concerned with children. And I think it should. So we'll see. I was just reading that it looks like there's a new law in California that you have to have insurance. There's this insurance you have to carry for every weapon that you have. I thought that was an interesting angle too. No one's saying you can't have your guns. We are saying that you legally have to be responsible for them in every way. I'm okay with that. I think that's good. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. It's an important precedent. Had the shooter in Sandy Hook, had his mother been charged? She should have been. Oh, she should have been. Maybe that would have changed a few things, We'll see. And then we also did a case this week about Mark Means, about the Daybell Vallow case. But if you're following that case, you'll definitely want to listen to this episode. But if you're not, then you probably don't care. All right, let's keep moving. Anita brings us from Anita and the Masters, the Blessed Mother Mary. Mother Mary, we know her as the mother of the Messiah, Jesus, but she's also our mother in every sense. A lot of sweet information about how to connect to Mother Mary and her energy. Yeah, so be sure that you read that. And that's about it. So hopefully you'll find some bits of wisdom in Luminous and find some things there that help to encourage you. Let's see. Sid says now she wants a wreath on the door to get the speediest passing of winter. Well, there you go. Maybe we should put wreaths on every door. Renee said she likes to get a fresh one too. Oh, Ali Shaya said, as a child in Cuba, we celebrated Little Christmas in January. The three wise men left presents under the bed. Oh, I love that. Just little things. So, did you do like Christmas too, or this was Christmas? Yeah, yeah. No kidding, Pamela. That was a relief for Canada. I don't know why they'd flee to Canada anyway. Canada is an extradition country. As soon as they found them, they were going to turn them around and send them straight back. But desperate, scared, stupid, Yeah. Sid said the issue of lack of parents' sense of responsibility has increased since the 90s. Agreed. When school administrators were unable to impose any kind of discipline or correction because parents would frequently defend their child. That is a way that we have changed dramatically in the last 20 years, for sure. It used to be if you got in trouble at school, then you were in twice as much trouble at home, right? If you disrespected a teacher, if you didn't do what you were supposed to at school, you were in deep shit, right? And boy, these days, nope, the school's in deep shit. That's how times have changed for sure. And unfortunately, talk to any teacher and they'll tell you the same thing. They are constantly under threat of parents being upset. They are fielding constant phone calls, emails, social media posts, people mad at them for whatever. During COVID, particularly, that really increased as teachers are also just doing the best they can with what they've got. But it's become a very commonplace and comfortable thing to just blame the teachers for everything. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Denise said her wreath went up this weekend. Chris said, as earthlings, we really like to scare the crap out of each other. Yes, we do. What is the matter with us? And I'm no different. I love it. Hey, Catherine. Oh, Helen said last Sunday she went to her local Yuletide Magic Mart and there was a long line to take Krampus photos. Oh, I love it. That's so fun. Yes, I will definitely, Catherine, I will do that for you for sure. Uh, oh, Helen said her theme for her youngest this year is all things witchy. She got her a new tarot deck as well as a new oracle deck, and she plans to find some fancy paper and type up some oracle card spreads to include with the cards. Great idea. How fun. Oh, they got an inch of snow in Spokane yesterday. They got snow in Boise yesterday too. Yeah. And Boise hasn't had much snow in the last couple of years, but they did get some yesterday. Okay. Let's see. And we'll get to, yeah, Tiffany, we'll get to your bunny for sure as well. So, well, and maybe that's where we go next. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So, Tiffany, tomorrow's surgery day for her rabbit Hickory. She's having her teeth drilled down on the right side and having some blood work in case there's something going on other than teeth. She's gained quite a bit of weight. So, yeah. So actually, let's all join and send a little extra love to Tiffany and to Hickory. Going to the vet is particularly hard on rabbits, and going under anesthesia is really hard on rabbits. So she's got a really good vet that's a specialist that knows what they're doing, but it's a yeah, it's tough on them. So let's all just. I'm gonna just wrap her up in a lot of light, Tiffany. Yeah, also gonna let her know that she's going to be going to the vet and sleeping for a while and coming back home, and that her mouth is going to feel different. Good. Yep, but I'm showing you holding her in a blanket, cuddling her. You're helping her to be okay. Yeah, good. All right. And lots of love to you too, Mama. I know this stuff sucks. Yeah. Okay. Catherine would love a health scan. Felt I had a bug over the weekend that cleared, tested negative for COVID, thankfully, but I still don't feel fully myself. Let's take a look. I'm glad it wasn't COVID, babe. Oh, no. Are you guys just so damn tired of COVID you could just scream? I know we're never going back to normal. The normal is gone. We have new normals that we're learning, but it's exhausting. And don't get me wrong, I am very COVID careful. You guys know that. But I'm so tired of it being a part of every conversation. And every time you get sick, right, Catherine? You have to worry about it. Of course you do. You have to make sure you're not going to give it to somebody else or get sicker. And oh, boy. Anyway, all right, Catherine. Just giving you a little look over. You're just not 100%. Even though it maybe wasn't the COVID bug, I still feel like you had a pretty good sock in the jaw there. What I'm hearing is that if you don't give yourself some pretty good chance to still rest, like the next 2 or 3 days, you may run back downhill a little bit. So be sure that you are still really resting, that you're not done with this. It's still working its way through your body. So you might feel better overall, but still lots of fluids, still lots of rest, still babying yourself for another 2 or 3 days. Okay? Got to do it. We don't want to see you backslide. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Karen. All right. Tiffany, you are so welcome, babe. I'm so sorry you guys are going through that, but I'm going to hold space with you that everything's going to be fine, and this will just get her back on track. Okay. Okay. Oh, so Ali Shaya said, no Santa Christmas Eve is the equivalent of Thanksgiving here. Christmas Day was just families eating leftovers and mass. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Jane said, oh, yes, I am so tired of it. And forbid you say it out loud. It becomes political and insulting. Very tired. You know, when I got vaxxed and I said something about it on a true crime paranormal podcast, and I had said something about, now I'm fully vaxxed and I was relieved for that. And someone commented, you had me till you said fully vaxxed. I'm out. Okay. So you can't listen to me because it's not even what we were talking about. We were just chatting before the show started. And anyway, that one killed me. But I've had a few other attacks online like that. I don't know. You know, everyone's going to do what they're going to do without a doubt. But yes, it's become so political and polarized, you barely dare speak the words. Yep. Let's see. Alishai said, I have this whole download for a book series, but I'm having trouble with the dialogue. Any ideas how I can go around that? Speak it. Use this voice function either on your phone, like the voice to type function. Google Docs has a really good one, or you can pull up Google Docs on your laptop, or there's other functions too, but I like theirs a lot. And use the voice typing so that you can speak out the dialogue rather than trying to write it. It's easier that way. And then you can go back in and add all of the bits and pieces, the quotation marks, the commas, the he says, the she expressed, the whatevers. But speaking it is easier because that's what you're trying to do is speaking, right? Yeah. Yes, JR, you sure can. So JR also was looking for a health scan. Do you want to give me any background on that so I know what you want me to work on? If not, I'll just go for it. But I'm going to give you a chance to answer there. In the meantime, let's see. Sid, I know you had a question about, Kit Kat. Okay. She's still with a lot of other cats. I'm not sure if she's still in that same place or not. I'm not clear on that, but there's quite a few other kitties around her. She feels good to me, babe. She's not scared. She's not upset. Currently, I feel like she's stretched out somewhere warm and is really happy. Yeah, honey, you can cut yourself loose from this. You don't have to keep worrying about her. She's fine. You made a decision that you had to for yourself and for her too, and it's okay. But she's okay. I don't have any concern with her right now. She feels fine to me. Yeah. So I thought that we might, you are welcome, Edith. See how that works for you. That's worked well for me in the past with dialogue. Dialogue is hard to write. But if you can just imagine that conversation in your head, what it would sound like, right? And what it would feel like, and then just say it out loud, for me, that has helped. But I know it's hard to find a perfect way to balance, or to sometimes spit out what's in your brain versus what you're getting on paper. I know that for sure. I'm with you. Okay, JR said, I've been sick on and off for months now. Fevers, cough, congestion. I'm sorry. Let's take a look. Yeah, your whole system seems to be pretty run down. And I feel like you've been to the doctor repeatedly. You just aren't getting much in the way of answers. I just feel like with every time you've gotten sick, it's kind of knocked you down a couple more pegs and you've been a little slow to heal. I would talk to your doctor about that, about what you can do to strengthen your immune system, what your body needs to get back on top. I would also be curious about your vitamin D levels. I'd be curious about what your thyroid's doing. What's your whole immune system doing at this point? Uh, I'm so sorry for that. That really sucks. Yeah, it really sucks. I do feel like this winter you're going to see a little more of the same, but by spring, I actually see you really perking up a lot and getting this finally out of your system once and for all. So, on that note, I would talk to your doctor, your naturopath, even acupuncturist about helping you to work on strengthening your immune system and just, continuing to blast anything out of there that just keeps lurking. Because I'm with you. It kind of seems like there's a bug here that doesn't ever really go away completely and just keeps raising its head back up and coming back after you again. Every time you get a little tired or a little stressed, it comes back to you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Catherine, I'm so glad you can rest for a couple more days. You definitely need it. Okay, Karen said, I've had no energy or desire to do anything. Can you see if there's anything draining me or what I can do? Yeah, let's take a look, babe. I'm sorry. Let's see. You do have a few pretty heavy cords to other people up in your high heart. Let's go ahead and pull those. And your R is pretty heavy too. I feel like you've been kind of collectively slimed. And Karen, and that is holding you down quite a lot. So I'm going to pull those cords. These are just the kinds of cords that form with other people when, you have when they rely on you essentially, and they are definitely taking more than their fair share. So sometimes you just have to pull all of those cords, set them loose, and, give yourself a chance to get yourself back. All right, so I'm going to heal that up with love and just return those. And then we'll do a little healing here for you. I'm going to seal all of that up with gold. Good. And then let's clear that heavy aura. You don't need that. Also holding you down. Sometimes your aura will end up kind of looking like a big, thick, wet wool blanket over top of you, just pinning you down, and that's how this looks. I know. Fun, right? All right, I'm just pulling that clear up off of you. Get rid of it. Mm, good. All right. Now we can amplify some good light up around you. So much better. Your whole energy body expanded. Ugh, no wonder you haven't felt right. Okay. And then I'm going to put a Herkimer diamond in your crown chakra to help elevate your energy too. So let me do that. Good. And that just helps to raise your physical energy up. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Thank you. Okay. So, good. That's a little better, Karen. Yeah, you've just had lots of other people around you, other people's energy around you, just sucking you a little bit dry. So, Scott just pulled another spoon off of the engraver and brought in. So, I'll show you guys. That's so funny. He's so good. He knew what I was thinking about. Anyway, so this one says just add love, and it's a little bottle full of, well, love. Isn't that cute? I don't know how I can't hold these correctly. There we go. I love it. Yes, Sid. We need to grease the door to my office or something. It is so loud. When people walk in here, you can't not know it. Yeah. That's a good question. That Jane wanted to know. Okay, really. Now he's just squeaking the door just to squeak it. Rude. I was taking a picture of this spoon to put in the chat room. Okay. What is this feeling right you speak of? I hear you. Good question. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Do you ever think about like what is right? What is right for you? Do you never quite feel right? I think I feel the rightest right when I get in bed at night. Because when I climb in my bed at night, I usually just have this sense of, stretching out and cuddling up with the dogs and just feeling like this is where I'm supposed to be. That's the rightest it is for me, I think. Okay. All right. Sid said she was hoping she could say she was with a forever family. Yeah, she may never be with a forever family, honey. With her behaviors, it's okay. Just she might just be happier just with other cats and just right where she's at. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, the squeaky horror door. Yeah. We could make a horror movie in this room. Yeah. Yeah, Jane said in bed in the PM is good, in the AM anxiety creeps in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Jessica said she has been in a funk. She doesn't like doing anything. Doesn't feel like doing anything. Is it just the winter blahs or something more? Let's take a look. That seems to be a theme right now, doesn't it? I think that the full moon eclipse didn't feel very good to me, and the new moon eclipse did not feel very good to me. But I've kind of been going through my own stuff with losing Skippy, and so it's hard. I have been hesitant to measure my experience right now against anyone else's. Because I am in a little different place. But then again, neither of those moons felt good to me. Okay. It's a couple of things. I'm going to clear your aura too, because you also have a very heavy aura. Maybe that's kind of one of the collective challenges we have right now. I'm going to clear that for you, Jessica. I do think it's a pretty good onset of the winter blahs. You really might consider going to the doctor and getting your vitamin D levels checked and talking to them about supplementing with D. And of course, get a sun lamp in your house that you sit with every day to help boost you up. A lot of people really, fall into that. And It's a horrible feeling. My son has a sun lamp on his desk and he uses it. He sits with it every day while he studies, and he has to take vitamin D every morning. And if not, and it's an interesting thing because he's a cap, and my dad was a cap, and he had the same kind of the winter depression and or seasonal depression, and I feel like a lot of people suffer from that and don't even realize it. But vitamin D a lot of times is a huge key to that. All right, just clearing your aura here. Yeah, I if I were you, I would go get a checkup for all of those reasons and just make sure that everything else physically is okay. All right, clear up that aura. Let's get some good light, good bright tangerine light around you, Jessica. Yeah, see if we can get you back into a space of motivation and wanting to get a few things done. It sucks in December when you are totally lacking motivation and you know damn well you've got plenty to do. Yeah. It's hard to be unmotivated at my house because you know, I live with the Energizer Bunny who never quits, and if there's ever a moment that you're not doing something, he's like, "What are you doing right now? What are you working on?" And it's not in a judgy way, but it's always like he keeps me moving in the sense that he's always going. And so then I feel like I need to be too. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing for me. I could definitely do less. That's probably it's good to have that motivation sometimes. However, I also have no problem saying I'm not doing a damn thing right now. I'm going to cuddle in this blanket with this dog and watch this movie. And that's okay too, but you know, Scott doesn't really slow down. He doesn't sleep very much. He's one of those people that doesn't require a lot of sleep. Not me. I require. I require 8 hours. Have to have it. That's when my body repairs itself from all the damage it does to itself all day long. So, nope. But he doesn't. He just doesn't need sleep like I need sleep. Okay. I had a really bad dream a few nights ago. I had one of those dreams that was so bad that I was hesitant to go to bed the next night. Yeah. I definitely was asking for a little extra protection that night to don't ever let me have that dream again. Ever, ever again. All right, Trish, I was pulling you a card and it is the crown chakra, which you tend to live in your head in a good way, but it is the crown chakra card. So because of that, balancing your crown, paying attention to your connection to the universe. I feel like you have people who've passed here in the last couple of years who would really like to connect, and you may have kind of turned that off because you've had a lot of other things going on, and that's something that you need to pay attention to. So, working a little extra on that crown, a little extra movement, yoga would be good for that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Sid, honey, you weren't here that last week. Yep, Skippy passed. He started having seizures again um, the week of Thanksgiving. And yep, he died in Scott's arms on Friday morning of that, the day after Thanksgiving. Yep. Yeah, I was here. I Facebook was, or yeah, we had some problems with the player last week. I was live, but I think mostly only through streaming for whatever reason. Yeah. Yep, I know. It's been really sad. It's been really hard. Yep. Oh, Quelly said neither eclipses felt good to her either. December 1st, she got sent home from work to cool off due to a mean customer. Oh, totally threw me off and my good space and haven't been right since. Yeah. Side note, the customer came back and apologized the next day. I just don't understand how people can be so mean. I am so sorry. You, of all people, certainly do not deserve that. I know that you are absolutely kind, 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 and but everyone has a trigger, right? Of course. When someone comes at you, you are going to defend yourself. You should defend yourself. But I'm sorry that that happened. That sucks. You did not deserve that. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we got to go. I'm looking at the time. I'm surprised my producer hasn't kicked me off the air. Okay, well, that's it. Don't forget, I'm a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com, and you can find me over there every day doing readings and healings and all that work I do. And of course, I will be back, and I will see if I can get some spoons up on the Etsy store too. If you see something you really wanted specifically, send me a note so that I know, so I don't put a lot of extra time into things that aren't going to fly, or I will, whatever. Thanks so much, you guys. You've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.